The Office of the Prime Minister pushes back. Tonight on Our News, OPM denying rumors of an investigation into passports on a Bahamas Air flight, accusing the opposition of stoking fear. Also, a cargo ship runs aground off Abaco. Within hours, officers say looters moved in. 2 men now in police custody, and tonight, authorities have a stern warning for residents. And the church filled with songs, stories, and sorrow. Loved ones remember a bright, promising student whose life was cut tragically short overseas. Then in Our News at 7:30.
We're just days away from the advanced poll here in the Golden Isles constituency, but residents say they still have some concerns. To find out where they are, stay tuned to Our News tonight.
Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. The Office of the Prime Minister is outright denying claims of any probe into Bahamian passports being on board a Bahamas Air flight headed south, and accusing the Free National Movement leader of being reckless. At last night's rally in the alley, F&M leader Michael Pintard called on government to address the issue, even questioning whether a racket was underway. Berthany McDermott was there. He gets us started tonight.
Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard lashing out on the Davis administration, claiming the government fired people following an investigation that a bag of Bahamian passports was on board a Bahamas Air flight. Pintard made the comments during the second rally in the alley in the Golden Isles constituency ahead of the upcoming by-election.
Recently, there was an investigation involving Bahamas Air. They found on the plane, some would say unaccompanied passports. Somebody else tells the story this way, that the bag burst and the passports fell on the ground and an investigation had to happen. And so this flight that was heading south had a package of those passports.
But the Office of the Prime Minister quickly rejected the claim. Communications Director Latrey Ramming said in an X post the Commissioner of Police, Chief Passport Officer, the Managing Director of Bahamas Air, and the Chairman of Bahamas Air have all confirmed no such incident happened. He added that there is no report of an investigation and no staff member was dismissed. Ramming also says the claim has no connection to the truth. Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell assuring residents of the security of documents.
I want to take this opportunity to reassure the public about the security of the documents and the fact that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs takes its job seriously with regard to the issue of documents.
But Pintard doubled down, saying the terminations followed the alleged incident.
We are advised that the investigation has been completed. Persons have been fired. But the minister with responsibility for the airline has not said a word to the public, nor has the Minister of National Security or the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who have responsibility for passports, nor has the Chief Passport Officer said anything.
OPM's response came minutes after Pintard spoke. It called the opposition leader's conduct unworthy of anyone offering themselves for national leadership. Meanwhile, Pintard pushed the government to respond to the claims.
Is there a racket going on that you have discovered? We haven't said yet that you're responsible, but your silence makes us wonder. But we haven't said you're responsible. We're just saying your silence makes us wonder.
Now, with just a few days to the advance polls and less than 2 weeks to the by-election, Pintard making it clear that the party is secured in this victory. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thank you so much for that, Berthany. Law enforcement officers have now taken control of what they're calling a looting incident off the coast of Abaco. 2 men are now in police custody. Trailer Bridge Inc. told the Nassau Guardian the Brooklyn Bridge ran into severe winds on its way to Puerto Rico, causing a tow wire failure and forcing the vessel aground in Bahamian waters. The company says dive inspections show no damage to the ship and all cargo remained safely secured. Officials from the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces say they have completed their assessment of the incident, issuing this stern warning to any Abaconians who may have removed items from that vessel. Press liaison for the Northern Division is Chief Superintendent Stephen Roll.
I also wish to add too that while doing their checks at that vessel, they will discover 2 adult males from the North Abaco area. They were taken into custody and they will be assisting with the investigation. I wish to advise those persons who may have already accessed that vessel and removed items to please return those items to the police. And if they are found to be in possession of these items, they will be arrested, charged, and placed before the courts.
A man facing a 2024 murder charge has to wait another year before he goes to trial. Alex Ovilmar expected his trial for the January 17, 2024 murder of Israel Gibson to begin this week, but Justice Gilomena Archer-Mins told Ovilmar that the matter had been pushed back to October 26 next year because the court was hearing another case. Ovilmar, who remains on remand at the Bahamas Department of Corrections, denies shooting Gibson at Pine Yard Road. Meanwhile, prosecutors have now closed the case of a 2022 double shooting that left one man dead and another injured. Dante DeVoe, also known as Dre, is accused of killing Emmanuel Brown and attempting to kill Samuel Joseph on May 2nd, 2022. Prosecutors say the men were hanging out at a car wash on 7th Street in the Grove when DeVoe allegedly borrowed $10 from Joseph, then returned a short time later and opened fire. Joseph identified DeVoe as the shooter, and before he died, Brown allegedly told a police officer that DeVoe shot him. DeVoe has denied the allegations at his trial before Justice Janine Weish Gomez and a 9-member jury. Well, family, friends, and loved ones gathered Thursday evening to celebrate the life of 16-year-old Madeline Thompson, a bright, promising student who tragically died in Panama on November 1st while attending a robotics competition. The pew at St. Joseph's Catholic Parish, where families say Madeline served so faithfully, was filled with classmates, teachers, and church family coming together in song, prayer, and stories that spoke to her kindness and joyful spirit. Her classmates and her mother both shared tributes, remembering Madeline as a light, brilliant, compassionate, and loved. Here's classmate Jordan Lloyd and her mother, Shanique Thompson.
We were lucky enough to share with her. Madeline touched our lives in ways words can hardly describe, and her memory will always stay with us. Madeline Thompson, affectionately known as Mads, was a hidden gem. When we first met her, she appeared quiet and reserved. But as we got to know her, we realized what a powerhouse she was. Funny, intelligent, athletic, helpful, the whole 9 yards.
A daughter every mother prayed for. Madeline was adventurous, competitive, a child who enjoyed life. In fullness, she enjoyed life fully.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he's standing by in the Weather Center. Happy Friday, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Kendino, and a happy TGIF, everybody. Another beautiful day around the islands, and we are setting up for another nice night. So if you have plans to get on the outdoors, do so. It's going to be nice and cool and comfortable. 73 degrees with a few clouds on the outside, north-northeast winds at 50 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 72. Temperatures right now around the family of islands, we are in the low 70s across the northwest Bahamas, 71 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 72 over in Marsh Harbour, Abaco, 74 is Alistown, Bimini, and over in Governor's Harbour, Lustra, Great Harbour, Keithbury Island, 73 there, Nicholstown, North Andros, 73. Central Bahamas, 74 in Kemps Bay. We pick up 73s once again in Arthurstown, Cat Island, Cuban Townsend, Salvador, 75s in Black Point, Exuma, Port Nelson, Rumkey, also 75 there. 76s, Georgetown, Great Exuma, Deadman's Key, Long Island, and into the southeast Bahamas. 79 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, actually, that's a little on the warm side. 77 in Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, 76, Abrams, Bay Maguana, 78. Matthew Down, Inago, 80 in our good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands. You have a temperature right now of 79, and you do have some showers and isolated thunderstorms nearby. Taking a look at our satellite and radar composite, frontal boundaries still hanging out near the southeast Bahamas. A little more energy now down near the Turks and Caicos Islands, but that front is continuing to slide towards the south and east. Should move out of our area, but we do have a second front. That's well to the northeast of the Bahamas, We may get clipped across the northwest Bahamas by that front, so we could see 1 or 2 smaller showers across the northern islands through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your weekend forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, a quick turnaround for Team Bahamas at the CBC Championships and some new additions to the Don't Blink Home Run Derby.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. If they wanted to keep pace with the field, this was the one game they had to have. After losing the opener to Guyana, Team Bahamas faced a must-win situation in Game 2 against Suriname. Powered again by the dynamic duo, LaShawn Higgs and Valerie Nesbitt, Team Bahamas won 77-45 over Suriname last night in Georgetown, Guyana. This time it was Higgs that dropped a game-high 35 points. She shot 7 for 15 from three-point range and also added 7 boards and 7 assists. Nesbitt finished with a double-double, 13 points, and a game-high 11 assists.
Between the Andre Rogers National Stadium and the Freedom Farm Complex, the BAISS crowned several champions to conclude its season on the diamond. Let's get it started with the junior boys. The St. Anne's Blue Waves made it back-to-back titles with a 2-game sweep over the Queens College Comets. In junior girls, the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine reclaimed the title when they swept the Comets. Those roles were reversed in the senior girls division. The Comets defeated the Big Red Machine in 2 games. Finally, the senior boys matchup, again between SAC and QC, is headed to a third and deciding game tonight.
For the first 7 years of the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise, the biggest question was always who will be crowned the home run king. Well, now in year 8, the home run queen gets added to the court. Co-founder Todd Isaacs Jr. said this year the Derby will include women's professional softball players. Co-founder Lucius Fox added that the event continues to serve multiple purposes headed into year 8. And what's a week without your 10YS Plays of the Week? That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Apple launches a digital ID. Plus, the Mega Millions jackpot nears $1 billion ahead of tonight's drawing. And the Spanish Field Hospital in Jamaica begins treating its first patients post-devastating Hurricane Melissa. When Our News returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
My name is Trey Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opting the sport.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. New questions tonight about Brazil's deadliest police operation after a review found none of the 121 people killed, including 4 officers, matched the suspects police claimed they were targeting. The raid in Rio deployed 2,500 officers and was touted as a strike against the Commando Vermelho gang, but rights groups call it a massacre, and local media say no high-level leaders were captured. Residents told the BBC the gang was back on the streets the very next day, and Rio's own intelligence officials say the operation had a negligible impact. President Lula da Silva has ordered a federal investigation, while Rio's governor, whose approval rating has risen, says he won't back down. The Mega Millions jackpot has now soared to $965 million, the 8th largest in the game's history, ahead of Friday night's drawing. The prize jumped after no one matched all 6 numbers on Tuesday, extending a winless streak that began back on June 27th. The cash option of $445.3 million can be taken up front or through 29 annual payments. Despite no jackpot winner, more than 809,000 tickets hit across other prize tiers Tuesday, totaling $27.9 million nationwide. The odds of winning it all, just 1 in 290 million. Apple users can now digitize their U.S. passport thanks to a new digital ID feature launched Wednesday. The digital ID, which does not replace a physical passport, lets people store and present their ID in Apple Wallet. Setup requires scanning the passport photo page, reading the embedded chip with an iPhone, and completing facial verification steps before the ID is added to the wallet. To use it, holders simply double-click into Apple Wallet, select Digital ID, and tap their device near an identity reader. Apple says the feature will soon work with more businesses for identity and age verification in person, in apps, and online. Help on the ground in Jamaica tonight as a Spanish mobile field hospital begins treating patients in Falmouth, including a childbirth on day 1. The facility, which recently was deployed with European Union and Pan American Health Organization support, is providing 24-hour emergency care, surgery, and inpatient services. This after Hurricane Melissa damaged 5 major hospitals and dozens of clinics. More than 70 medical professionals are working side by side with Jamaican teams. PAHO says the effort shows global solidarity in action as repairs continue and health services across the island slowly come back online. Meanwhile, the U.S. keeping nationwide flight cuts capped at 6% despite the end of the government shutdown. The Transportation Department says it has scrapped plans to raise reductions to 10%, saying controller staffing has rapidly improved as back pay is set to resume. The Federal Aviation Administration says the 6% cap will stay in place while airports steadily recover even after days of cancellations, more than 900 on Wednesday alone. Airlines expect operations to fully normalize within a week and say Thanksgiving travel should still run as planned if recovery continues. And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday pushed back against criticism from some U.S. allies over the legality of the U.S. strikes in the Caribbean, saying Europeans don't get to dictate how Washington defends its national security. Sarika Jazani reports.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday rejected complaints from some allies over the legality of U.S. strikes in the Caribbean. Rubio was at a G7 foreign ministers meeting in Canada, where talks focused on the wars in Ukraine and Gaza. But some of the countries present have raised concerns about U.S. attacks on vessels, which the Trump administration says are carrying drugs. France's foreign minister said Tuesday the strikes, quote, violate international law and are a worry for nearby French territories. The U.S. military has hit at least 19 suspected drug boats in the Caribbean and off Latin America's Pacific coast, killing at least 76 people. However, before leaving Canada, Rubio told reporters no one mentioned the strikes to him at the meeting. He defended targeting what he called narco-terrorists, saying drugs moved from Venezuela to Europe and the U.S. should be thanked. He added that Europe doesn't get to decide how Washington defends its national security. Rubio also dismissed a CNN report that Britain stopped sharing drug intel over the strikes.
We have very strong partnerships with the UK and other countries. Again, nothing has changed or happened that has impeded in any way our ability to do what we're doing, nor are we asking anyone to help us with what we're doing in any realm, and that includes military.
The Trump administration says the targeted boats carried drugs, but has offered no proof or legal reasons for attacks instead of arrests. Washington claims the strikes comply with UN Charter Article 51 on self-defense. The G7 statement backed fighting drug trafficking at sea, but did not mention the U.S. campaign. UN experts said last month that even if drugs were aboard, killing without legal basis breaks sea laws and counts as unlawful execution.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was November 14th. Then in our news at 7:30.
We're just days away from the advanced poll here in the Golden Isles constituency, but residents say they still have some concerns. To find out where they are, stay tuned to Our News tonight.
This as the FNM's candidate takes aim at his PLP rival, says he's not one of us. The story when Our News returns.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
On this day in Bahamian history, William Allardyce, who led the Bahamas through World War I, was born in 1861. In 1958, O.B. Wilchcombe, the late O.B. Wilchcombe, was born in Freeport, later serving as a cabinet minister until his death in 2023. In 1973, the Persis Rogers Home for the Aged opened, and in 1991, Milo Butler Jr. became Speaker of the House, and in 2023, a Blue Lagoon ferry sank, claiming the life of a 75-year-old American woman. If you want to learn more about the events that shaped the day that was November 14th, head over to ournews.bs. And hundreds of students across the country gearing up for the big showdown on Bay Street. Junior Junkanoo is set for January 29, 2026. And this week, title sponsor Sol Petroleum presented a $50,000 check to organizers during a press conference hosted by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture. Minister Mario Boleg says this year's lineup is record-breaking.
The ministry is happy to partnership with Sol and Scotiabank, who's made our life much easier to make sure that these parades come off so smoothly, so that all of our teachers and educators are those who participate and ensure that these young persons have some positive environment to be around as we try to enhance our number one culture, which is Junkanoo.
And at that press conference, all 36 participating schools selected their order of entry in the respective categories. In the high school division, though, C.V. Bethel Sr. selected the dreaded number one spot. Head of the Performing Arts Department, Mark Turnquest, he told Our News, though, being first out the gate holds a great deal of pressure.
Yeah, costume production has started about a few weeks ago. So we're well on our way. I don't want to give too much away because you know the ops watching.
And friendly gunfire echoed across the police shooting range on Fire Trail Road West this week. Officers from the police force, defense force, customs, the prisons department squared off for some friendly competition. The agencies faced off in a skill shooting challenge for bragging rights, with Department of Corrections serving as host. The Commissioner, Don Clare, says it's all about camaraderie, team spirit, and sharpening the skills that keep the country safe while still having a little fun.
It is designed only for the uniform branches. Unfortunately, immigration gets scared and they show up today. But we be looking to have a dandy for time this morning.
The police is not there.
And
we got one police officer.
Customs, we beat them last year, so he say he can beat us this time. So I don't know. But all I want to do today is this. I want people. Either the police or the defense force, they must be the throne today. That's all I'm worried about. If customs beat me, I don't mind. But we must beat the police or the defense force.
All right, and join Our News starting Monday at 8 a.m. for coverage of the advanced poll on your favorite social media platforms, and then for a special broadcast of Our News at 7 and 7:30. That's this Monday, as we cover the advanced poll for the upcoming Golden Isles by-election. If you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, though, you can visit ournews.bs. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Up now, Megan Shepard. She has got the latest headlines. Megan, who do you think won? He said the prison would dethrone the police force or the defense force. Who do you think? Who would you put your money on?
I know both organizations carry guns, and so I will be Switzerland. My money's on both of them. Trained marksmen.
Boy, I don't know. I say, you know what? I don't know. You know what? Switzerland, too.
Switzerland for safety reasons. Perfect. TGIF, enjoy the rest of your weekend, Kendino.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you at home, we want you to enjoy your holiday seasons with us. Don't forget, stay locked into Our News every week from now until December for your shot at driving away in a brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. It's the ultimate giveaway, brought to you by Our News, Alive, and Automall. And you'll have even more chances to win with fun trivia and giveaways on our digital platforms. We've got some extra prizes courtesy of Automall and Alive. To learn more, head on over to ournews.bs to learn how you can win. Good luck. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight,
we're just days away from the advanced poll here in the Golden Isles constituency, but residents say they still have some concerns. To find out what they are, stay tuned to Our News tonight.
Plus, Coral Harbor residents could see their drainage issues finally go down the drain once and for all. The Works Minister says work is expected to begin next week. Plus, owners of the Brooklyn barge could be fined a minimum of $20,000. As investigations continue, that could increase. We've got the latest. And later, it's never too soon to start planning for the year 2026. Tonight, our Danielle Miller helps you get a head start on where to be as we ring in the new year. The details for these stories and so much more when our news continues.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs.
Welcome to our news, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Infrastructure, opportunities, and improved presence, all top of needs and wants for residents living in Golden Isles. Our Joshua Williams visiting communities in the constituency today as they prepare to head to the polls for the upcoming advance poll and by-election.
I done been living here now, how long, but 6 or 7 years, and I've been asking both governments just for a street sign. I can't tell you where I live.
Residents in the Golden Isles constituency say they still have some concerns as they get ready to mark their X in the upcoming by-election. The seat left vacant after the passing of former Member of Parliament Vaughan Miller. I headed back to the constituency to find out what residents are looking for in a representative. And for Cedric Munro, he says it's simple.
Little road where you can 1 or 2 parks and just keep in touch with the people who vote for you. That's all. Because a lot of people really ain't looking for nothing. They just want to make the representative come around. So if they have a little concern or whatever, they could say to them,
So who are the candidates? Darren Pickstock is representing the Progressive Liberal Party. Brian Brown is a candidate for the Free National Movement. Brian Roll is a candidate for the Coalition of Independents. And Karen Butler is running as an independent. This senior citizen says so far she hasn't seen or heard anything new.
All of them just feel like they're getting there, and after a while they do the same thing. But I guess you got to try somebody. Everybody not going to be alike, so try him and see.
I also met this gentleman who was painting his home. He shared his frustrations.
Taking care of the place, spend some money, upkeep the place, the roads and all them kind of things. They have to be done. You say buy a car or a vehicle that cost me $4,000, $25,000, but when I roll it on the road, next thing I know, you got to put it in the shop to get it fixed.
But for these two gentlemen, it's all about not forgetting who we are as Bahamians, no matter who wins.
I think everything will be just the way it always be unless we come together as people and stand as people instead of being divided. That's what I think with this by-election.
Now, it's not the first time I've hit the streets in Golden Isles to speak to residents. A while ago, I spoke to those living in the Bacardi and Adelaide village communities. Their concerns also remain the same. As to who will win, we'll have to wait and see. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Joshua. Well, Free National Movement candidate for Golden Isles, Brian Brown, hitting out at PLP candidate Darren Pickstock, saying, quote, he is not one of us, end quote, charging that the PLP will leave the community once the by-election is over. Brown was speaking to a crowd of supporters at the party's second Rally in the Alley event held on Thursday in Dignity Gardens. Brown telling supporters that after the by-election, he will remain in Golden Isles.
Their candidate is not one of us. He ain't no Golden Isles. He don't live in Golden Isles. He just discover Golden Isles when the camera crew reach him. You can't fight for community you don't understand. You can't represent people you don't live among. This community needs somebody who's been here, somebody who walks these streets, somebody who knows their family by name.
Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson shared that nearly 8,000 voters are registered in the Golden Isles constituency. Some 300 of them are set to participate in the advance poll on Monday. Now, that seat was left vacant after the sudden passing of former MP and Cabinet Minister Vaughn Miller in September. But Brown says this is just the beginning.
Tonight, this by-election is the first fight, but the real showdown will come at the general election. Why we must vote them out? Easy. They're selling citizenship. Golden Isles. If we want change and real change, then we have to get out and vote. Don't wait. Don't assume. Don't take chances. Vote early and vote strong. Vote like your future depends on it.
Well, good news for residents in Coral Harbor, fed up with vexing flooding issues, as government is expected to begin work to address the problem as soon as next week. Minister of Works Clay Sweeting stating as much during a midweek town hall meeting. Sweeting telling residents that under the road drainage improvement project, his ministry spent over 2 years devising plans for New Providence. And now the Coral Harbor area, which he referred to as a vital link connecting the facility of national importance, is all set for road construction to commence.
And I know a lot of times you have town meetings and then you say nothing can happen. You just talk about it and nothing happens afterwards. But we have the contractor here and I'm glad to say that the project is already past the tender committee stage at the Ministry of Works, past the procurement stage at the Ministry of Finance, and Tuesday was approved by Cabinet. So the contract is well ready to go.
According to officials, the road works are scheduled to be completed within a year from start date and will be carried out by Apex Pavers. President Willie Simmons gave this summary concerning the project's details.
We're going to start at the Coral Harbor Plaza, tie into the roundabout, and then we head south to the main Coral Harbor base, where we have there'll be some road diversions initially. We'll raise the roads to alleviate some of the immediate challenges with water flooding. And we move into the scope of works would include swales and drainage and wells and, like the minister said, lift stations.
A suspended corrections officer accused of setting up a man to be killed outside her home is facing a second murder conspiracy charge. Prosecutors say Shantae Taylor and an unnamed accomplice conspired to murder Chief Principal Officer Charles Curtis, her superior at the prison, on July 30th, 2024. Taylor, who's on bail, denied the charges at her arraignment before Justice Gulamina Archer Mins on Friday. The case has been assigned to Justice Renee McKay, who will set a trial date on November 27th. Meanwhile, Taylor is also facing trial for the alleged setup murder of Alvaro Thompson. He was ambushed and killed by gunmen outside of Taylor's home in Pinecrest Gardens on July 20th, 2024. The owners of the barge, as seen in those viral videos after it ran aground on a reef off Abaco, are now at the center of an environmental investigation. According to Director of the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, the incident has already triggered multiple penalties under the Environmental Planning and Protection Act. She says damage to coral reefs alone can carry a hefty fine, with additional penalties for any discharge or broader harm to the marine environment. A full underwater assessment will determine whether the owners must also pay for restoration of the affected area.
And under the Environmental Planning and Protection Act amendments, the Spot Fine Act, damage to coral reefs can incur a fine of $20,000. If anything is discharged from the area, from the vessel, like it's proven harmful to the marine environment, a discharge into the marine environment has a fine of $20,000. And any damage, again, any further damage to the environment outside of the coral reefs can incur a fine of $20,000.
Environmental teams have not visited the site yet, but a full underwater assessment is expected in the coming days to determine the true extent of the damage. She adds that the vessel's owners may ultimately be required to restore the affected area and to pay all associated costs.
If the barge sinks, that will become a wider court order for the Bahamas government. That would include the Port Department, Department of Marine Resources, ourselves, the AG's Office of Court, to determine remedy.
All right, well, we've still got lots more news to share with you tonight, but first, meteorologist Greg Thompson joins us for your first look at temperatures. Greg, happy Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and a happy TGIF, everybody. Another beautiful evening setting up for us on the outdoors. 73 degrees is our current temperature with just a few clouds. Winds out of the north-northeast at 50 miles per hour. Your field slide temperature is at 72. Satellite radar composite, frontal boundaries still hanging out near the southeast Bahamas, generating some showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly near the Inagua and the Turks and Caicos Islands. That front will continue to sag out towards the south and east and away from us, but we have a second front that's just to the northeast of the Bahamas, some cloud mass out there. That will clip the northern islands, so we could see one or two spotty showers across the northern Bahamas by tomorrow, but all in all, it should be a beautiful weekend coming up. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us to look at the tropics, and your extended forecast is still to come.
When our news comes back from the break, recognizing a need and creating a solution. One entrepreneur launches a new service on Shirley Street designed to help you feel more secure as you carry out embassy business. We'll explain more right after this break. Plus, which celebrity artist would you want to ring in the new year with? Our Danielle Miller tells us Bahamas is bringing in one of the top dance hall artists. The details coming up when our news continues.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
If you have to visit the new United States Embassy on Shirley Street, you don't have to worry about leaving your belongings in your car anymore. A brand new service called Embassy Lockers officially opened on Friday just a short distance away. The idea is to provide a safe haven for important belongings and documents while you carry out business inside. Managing Director Giante Miller says the idea came from a personal experience she had.
In 2021, when I went to take my daughter to the U.S. Embassy to renew her passport, I found myself putting my keys into the car, a push start, and I found myself moving it out and putting it in the trunk and putting it, behind a rock in different places because I was uncomfortable leaving it there. I then thought to myself that this is a white space that definitely needs to be colored in. So I knew that when the U.S. Embassy had moved to their location, the new location, that I was going to take advantage of it.
The lockers are priced around $14 for each visit. Miller assures residents their belongings will be safe.
We have cameras. My staff is very, very friendly. They will assist you. And then we also have business solutions. So we are conveniently located steps away from the U.S. Embassy. So you can park and you just walk here, get a storage. If you need to top up your phone, pay a bill, grab some coffee, take a passport photo, we do it all right here under one roof.
Coming up in sports, Team Bahamas faced off against Suriname looking for their first win of the CBC's champions crown in the BISS baseball and softball seasons. The Home Run Queens joined the show at the Don't Blink Home Run Derby, and the best part of your week and ours, top plays.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Martinutt. Let's do show. If they wanted to keep pace with the field, this was the one game they had to have. After losing the opener to Guyana, Team Bahamas faced a must-win situation in Game 2 against Suriname. Powered again by the dynamic duo, LaShawn Higgs and Valerie Nesbitt, Team Bahamas won 77-45 over Suriname last night in Georgetown, Guyana. This time it was Higgs that dropped a game-high 35 points. She shot 7 for 15 from three-point range and also added 7 boards and 7 assists. Nesbitt finished with a double-double, 13 points, and a game-high 11 assists. Michelle Butler scored 10, while Judy Forbes and Valicia Demerit each scored 6. The Bahamas outscored Suriname 20-15 in the first quarter, and again 38-14 over the course of the next 2 periods.
Between the Andre Rogers National Stadium and the Freedom Farm Complex, the BAISS crowned several champions to conclude its season on the diamond.
Let's get it started with the junior boys. The St. Anne's Blue Waves made it back-to-back titles with a 2-game sweep over the Queens College Comets. In junior girls, the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine reclaimed the title when they swept the Comets. Those roles were reversed in the senior girls division. The Comets defeated the Big Red Machine in 2 games. Finally, the senior boys matchup, again between SAC and QC, is headed to a third and deciding game tonight.
For the first 7 years of the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise, the biggest question was always who will be crowned the home run king. Well, now in year 8, the home run queen gets added to the court. Co-founder Todd Isaacs Jr. said this year the Derby will include women's professional softball players.
We went to the drawing board and said we needed to bring something new, something fresh, something exciting. And this year, we're proud to announce that we have professional softball girls participating with our Major League Baseball players this year. Coming off of the success of Queens in Paradise, it just made sense for us.
Co-founder Lucius Fox added that the event continues to serve multiple purposes headed into year 8.
We started this with just a vision and a goal in mind. We never wanted to make money from this. It was strictly purpose-driven to help our kids here in the Bahamas and around the world, but mostly here in the Bahamas. Because like I say, every year, we have the most talented, most brilliant people here in the Bahamas. But the kids just never tapped into their full potential. So here at Don't Blink, we make dreams come true.
It's Friday, the weather is changing, but the 10YS plays of the week remains the same, as long as we're here. At 5, anytime we have an opportunity to put FEI dressage into the countdown, we gotta do it. Shout out to Gabriela Souza and Gitano.
At number 4, playing with Luca makes the game so much easier for DA. Keep holding down the fort until Big Sciatica comes back, guys.
At 3, in Guyana at the CBC Champs, Valerie Nesbitt becomes Vala 3 Nesbitt. Get it? It's because of the many 3-pointers. Vala 3.
At number 2, we've seen every type of VJ highlight possible, and it's only been a month. We could save everyone some time and give him the Rookie of the Year trophy right now.
And at 1, to Spain and Travis Munnings in the Liga Endesa, well, we'll let the announcers explain.
Munnings hacia adentro, madre mía! Travis Munnings!
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Big comeback this weekend, not for any of the people that we cover, but for you.
After a long year of rehab, get to play in my first tournament, so it's gonna be good.
We're leading with it on Monday. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, stick with us like glue. Bahamas is about to raise the temperature this New Year's Eve with a dancehall artist you're probably still in love with. By now, I've probably given you the light on who the headline performer is, but if you're still not sure, our Danielle Miller will fill you in. But first, he's definitely got the right temperature, whether that's to keep you warm or more cooler temperatures. Greg is back in the Weather Center with a complete look at your forecast across the country. Stick with us.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More gains than ever before. With any live fiber infinite.
This is our news. Welcome back. 2 frontal boundaries affecting the islands. One near the southeast Bahamas, still generating some showers and some isolated thunderstorms, mainly near the Inago and the Turks and Caicos Islands. That frontal boundary will continue to weaken as it slides out towards the south and east. Then here comes the second front in the north of us. That's going to clip the northern Bahamas. That could bring us a couple of spotty showers across the northwest Bahamas by tomorrow. But all in all, it should be a beautiful weekend as high pressure reestablishes itself across our area. Taking a look at the tropics, we are winding down the official 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, which ends on November 30th. Nothing happening out there, just a couple of frontal boundaries in the open Atlantic. A tropical cyclone formation is not expected through the next 7 days. Taking a look at the future forecast. Moisture down near the southeast Bahamas with that boundary will stay mainly across the Turks and Caicos Islands as well as the Inagua. Then here comes the second front that will bring us 1 or 2 spotty showers by Saturday, and eventually that front will catch up with the second front down near the southeast Bahamas. Most of the activity will stay out there in the open Atlantic. Boating forecast for all areas tonight to tomorrow. You're going to love this one. The winds are going to be very comfortable. Northeast to east, 10 to 15 knots. Still a slight risk of rip currents out there. 2 to 4 foot seas expected. Low tide is at 9:55 tonight. Your high tide takes place at 4:11 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, we introduce some showers tomorrow as that weak frontal boundary just to the northeast of the Bahamas clips our area. But look at the skies are going to just be beautiful for the next couple of days. Temperatures will be warming up. We're still looking at some temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and we will return to normal temperatures during the nighttime. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, do you have plans as yet on how you will be ringing in 2026? Bahamas Resort is giving you the option to count down to the new year with food, fun, great company, and one Grammy Award-winning reggae artist. Our Danielle Miller tells us more.
Bahama is bringing you something new this New Year's Eve to warm up your temperature so you can get busy this holiday season. For the first time, the resort will feature a headline artist during their New Year's Eve celebrations. Vice President for Government and Community Relations at Bahamas, Robert Sands, told me following the success of the Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival, executives wanted to take their New Year's Eve event to the next level. The soiree will feature Bahamian talent and be headlined by international reggae superstar Sean Paul.
Well, every year we try to elevate and add something different. Our culinary festival was a smashing success. Our headliner, Lenny Kravitz, was absolutely fantastic. We want the momentum to continue. Bahama is a recognized destination for spectacular events, and we hope that New Year's Eve would also be one of those events.
He says the decision to book Sean Paul was based off of the artist's spectacular accolades, along with his ability to connect with the audience.
He's a celebrated reggae and dancehall artist, along with the fact that he's a Grammy Award winner and very popular within the region.
Sands told me attendees can not only anticipate a concert, but to indulge in an array of dishes, desserts, and beverages, as the celebration will also feature their signature event, Taste of Bahamas,
where we have elements of all our multiple world-class restaurants featured, similar to the same thing we did at the Bahamas Culinary Festival. So it will be a combination of entertainment and culinary delights.
For more information, visit bahamar.com/NYE. Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much, Danielle, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.